Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I'm Larry Colvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group, and we really do appreciate you listening. And feel free to give us a call if you have questions, worries, concerns, reservations, if anything's resonated with you today, 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. I encourage you to go there. There's all kinds of retirement tools, all kinds. All our classes inside the office or outside in the public, all of them are on the site. And Kim, a key takeaway from the last segment about taxes for the most part, you know, we say none of us get too excited about taxes. Lance, our CPA, on the other hand, he gets really excited about taxes, and his assistant, Melissa. And it is fourth quarter. We're having tax discussions all year, but this quarter, especially now, is Roth conversions, IRA or to Roth conversions. Do they make sense? Don't they make sense? Don't miss opportunities just because you're not having a conversation or nobody's helping you. This is the time, and unforced errors, missed opportunities, they happen all the time because a lot of people don't have a good partner that can hold your hand and walk you through what you should do and why you should do it. So sure. Strongly encourage it. It's fourth quarter. You should be having these conversations.
Fantastic advice. 612-504-8400 is how you get hold of the folks there at Haven Financial Group. If you'd like to sit down and talk to Lance about your tax strategy, for this coming year, or if you've got some tax issues that need to be taken care of before the year is out. We are talking with Keith Russell. He's an attorney, and he is an estate planning attorney. And we've been talking about, all different aspects of estate planning. And before we go today, we want to talk just a little bit about, estate planning isn't always just about your money. People want to leave behind some legacy. There is an image of you, or there are important things to you that maybe don't have the same kind of value that we think about when we talk about dollars, but have great value in your family or great value to you. So let's talk a little bit about that if we could, Keith. One of the things that jumps out at me that I think must be very different now than it was maybe 15 years ago is this whole idea of your digital footprint. I mean, when people pass away, I just recently had a friend who, thank goodness, did not pass away, but had a massive stroke. And he could not remember any of his passwords. He couldn't remember anything related to his digital life. And so as a result of this, none of his family could get into anything until finally he was healthier. This could be a real problem for a family, correct?
Yeah, it definitely could. And I've seen situations too in probate and where someone kind of kept everything close to the vest and families are kind of struggling, trying to figure out, what mom or dad had, not just for assets, but like you said, for passwords or, what credit cards did they have or where are the family photos, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So part of what we do as well in our documents is, as part of planning, is we're going to incorporate what we call digital asset authorizations into our documents, and those are going to be tools that are going to allow that. So, for instance, in the situation that you just described, someone who may be a healthcare agent or someone who could act on their behalf, and then reach out to these companies and maybe get into those accounts that otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Right.
Part of what we do as well when we do estate planning is we give our clients, we call homework folders, which we give them tools to be able to basically keep things like passwords or subscriptions or where these documents are, keeping a list for their loved ones so that if something does happen, they're going to be able to find that password or find those documents because it's going to be listed out where they all are.
Sure.
Yeah, it came on memory archives, although not digital because it was before digital. Personally, my late grandma Ruth, who passed quite a few years ago, she was a storyteller and she was comical as all get out. Her and grandma and grandpa were the Archie Bunker, and I forget what Archie's wife was, but she was the wife. Edith, yes. Anyways, when she passed, she because she was a good storyteller, we found cassette tapes where she told on numerous cassette tapes her life story from being young and all the way through it, her whole life story. And we still, whether it's the siblings, any family members, kids, grandkids can go back and listen to great grandma Ruth, give her life story, and just reflect on that. So I just think of that. It hit home.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, this is all sort of part of your estate planning, and that's the portion of it we're looking at. Maybe you're someone in this day and age, your grandma left audio tapes, but maybe you want to leave videotapes. I mean, that's certainly accessible to everyone, right?
Absolutely. And memories. It's all about telling your story. When we think estate planning, we think of a number, we think of money, we think of
Right.
investments, and that is all part of it, but it is your life story. What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? And again, that's why it's so very important.
Sure. Keith, maybe you could share a story about someone who left something behind for legacy purposes that, you helped them put together, or you ensured that it got to the beneficiaries.
I actually have not really run into the situation where I've actually seen the results, but I have certainly set up for individuals. Particularly, I've had some charity-minded clients who wanted to leave something in place. I had one client basically who wanted to leave it to a conservation society
Right.
for conservation for hunting land, and wanted to leave that legacy for his grandchildren. In order for them to be able to enjoy and make memories with their family as well with that particular land.
Sure. I think for some people, they may think this is just something you leave in a box in your drawer and you hope somebody stumbles upon it, but it can really be designated, correct?
Yeah. So with a will and with a trust, there's something we call tangible personal property lists. And we give these to our clients too as part of our homework folder. So if there are particular heirlooms or items that you want to go to certain people, that's going to be listed out. And I think that's a real advantage, because you're not putting a trustee or a personal representative in a position of having to figure out where stuff goes. You've let people know where you want it to go, and maybe including a little bit of a story or like why this is important to the person, so that the recipient really understands why this is an important heirloom.
Absolutely.
And Kim, as Keith brings up, charities. Bring it full circle back to tax planning, charitable giving. It's fourth quarter. I mentioned that. Right now, we're talking about RMDs that need to be done before the end of the year. I bet you I did a half dozen just this past week of clients that say, I don't need my required minimum distribution. I am charitable, and here's the charity or charities I want to give to, a qualified charitable distribution, where there's tax advantages to the giver or the recipient. Again, take advantage of that. I say that you don't give charitably for tax reasons, but if you are charitable, it opens up some tax planning avenues that can be beneficial. And the same to be with non-IRA money. If it's maybe you came into a bunch of money in this given year and you have an income problem, donor advised funds with non-qualified funds, donor advised funds, giving a bigger chunk, getting the big tax advantage up front in a given year. It allows some flexibility. So again, we come full circle back to tax planning, and that's why it's maybe there's some real benefits tax-wise to doing that.
Sure. So, Keith, as we wind down here, and we've had this great conversation about estate planning, and by the way, I think it's just been really incredibly informative. What is it that you hope people walk away from today's show with, and what's the message here that you hope people are getting?
I hope the message they're getting is that estate planning is really all about goals. And so you really need to think about, what are your goals? What are the things that you want to accomplish with your assets? And then, come to someone like us, a provision or an estate planning firm, and, make those goals known, and that we can help to give you tools or ideas on how to realize those goals.
And Larry, what about you?
Well, we do everything related to retirement planning. All of these retirement puzzle pieces, as I talk about in half a years, they're also important. And in retirement, they should be more coordinated than ever. It's why Provision, Carrie and Keith are good partners, because we know at Haven know the importance of a competent estate plan. We work very closely together, and clients and folks that partner with Provision, they communicate that with us once the estate plan is done. Here's how the beneficiary should be titled. This is the verbiage that should be used. And it's the coordination of that with the investments, with the insurance, with the Medicare and the healthcare. And by the way, it's annual enrollment, open enrollment for Medicare. Get your Medicare reviewed. Make sure you're saving some money. Insurance companies, I don't want to say they're haywire, but there's a lot going on in the insurance world. Let's just put it that way. And open enrollment support, Medicare, life insurance, long-term care. At Haven, we have all that under this roof. And you don't have to have it all under the same roof, but I can tell you that the best, in the 10 years that I've been here, the number one compliment is, wow, it's so nice to have it under the same roof, multiple personalities, all working together. That was the goal. And again, that's why we want to be a partner with those that are listening and that we can truly help. And if you have all your ducks in a row, more power to you. But do you really have all your ducks in a row?
Right. Good question. 612-504-8400. That's how you reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. Give them a call. Tell them you heard us here on the radio. You'd like to come in, make an appointment, sit down. It's not going to cost you anything. You're going to sit down. You're going to chat with the experts. Tell them what your goals are, and they can tell you how they can help you to reach them. 612-504-8400. Keith Russell, it's been great to have you today, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Kim, we'll see you next week, and have a blessed one.